Well, hello, hello, hello. For the final time on a live stream in 2025. This is Jojo Maria and Saroma coming to you with my closing out live stream for this incredible year. Yeah. And as always, I want to start off by honoring the ancestors. Yes, to my teachers, Mali Doman Sabonfu Some, thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you have done and continue to do to support me in my mission. And I invite you to also invoke your ancestors that you would like to have around you, guiding you, enabling you to navigate through these waters of the new earth. So here we go. Creator, Mother, Father, God, Source, all the one, all that is. May the ancestors hear our prayers. Ancestors, 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 we call out to you in the final weeks of 2025 and thank you for supporting our ability to value and understand acceptance and non attachment as our rod and our staff for moving through this chaotic, confusing, and painful Earth year. Thank you for having guided us safely through our personal and collective challenges throughout this year. Thank you for enabling us to trust more greatly that everything is happening for a divine reason which we cannot yet understand. Thank you for granting us the ability to practice negative capability, which is embracing uncertainty and mystery without seeking out facts or reasons. Thank you for reminding and granting us access to our higher timeline where we know that unconditional love is the ultimate reward for our self mastery. Thank you for continuing to give us strength and courage to honor this new age and new earth consciousness, daring greatly to live out our new narratives and knowing that these are divinely scripted for ourselves and for our world. And most importantly, thank you for continuing to enable us to move forth from the dark ages of modernity by placing our heads below our hearts, valuing people over profits, and always choosing love over fear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I say, Amen. Shea Hoasa, Shinga Bismillah. So it is. Shea. Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Wow, I got one comment that I'll share. Uh, it's not somebody I'm familiar with. Hello there. Welcome, welcome. I'm Maria, just like me. And there's Miranda Hurd. Hi, all. Shouting out to the village. Wisdom walkers. Wisdom walkers. We've made it. We've made it. Can you believe it? Yeah, it's hard to believe. We finally got here to these final days even of 2025, and it has been quite a journey. I know some people who have lost loved ones, had homes damaged from the natural disasters, lost home completely, um, lost job, lost health, you know, and some of that all together, all at once. I mean, it's been quite a time. Yeah, yeah. So the fact that we can be here um, at these last days, still standing, yeah, it is something to be joyous about. So here in these final weeks of the last Earth year of this awesome and painful third decade of the 21st century. We've been handed a cosmic directive, strong guidance from a greater order and direction to participate more than ever in our self mastery. And as I mentioned last January, the evolutionary energy of the age of Aquarius, also called the age of illumination or time of the fifth sun, is in full force and has increased our bandwidth for successfully doing our inner work. And tonight I am going to very specifically congratulate you and acknowledge you for being a wisdom walker. So, in this video, in this live stream, I close out the year of Wisdom Walk Talk for 2025, as I have in previous years, by taking you on a final contemplative journey regarding those 5 collective commitments of 2025. This is designed to support your learning, awareness, and progress toward practicing unconditional love for yourself and others. I will again be giving you access to downloadable workbook to record your experiences with each of the commitments and provide the guidance for developing your personal commitments for January 2026. So, thank you for tuning in to be acknowledged and thanked. And yeah, this is a great pleasure for me, an honor for me, in fact, to be here doing this. So I want to say happy holidays, everyone, regardless of what you celebrate. We really are in a very holy time, a very sacred time on this planet. Um, and yeah, it's just good stuff. Just good stuff. So, here is what we've been working on and walking through in 2025. Our theme has been unconditional love as the ultimate reward for self mastery. And we've been navigating through the energies of transform, unlearn, transcend, reclaim, and validate. Yeah. So I'm going to walk you through some reminders about the energies of this year, and then I will take you through each one of those collective commitments, again, asking you some contemplative questions that you can then, uh, respond to now, or I'll get that workbook out very soon. Yeah. Greetings. Yes, people are dropping in. I love it. So, my quote for tonight comes from Martin Luther King Jr. And it's so wonderful. I just had to share it. I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta share this." And Martin says, hold on, just give me a minute for my screen to clear up so I can read this. Go away. There we go. "The end is reconciliation. The end is redemption. The end is the creation of the beloved community. It is the type of love that can transform opponents into friends. It is this type of understanding of goodwill that will transform the deep glow of old age into exuberant gladness of a new age. It is this love which will bring about miracles in the hearts of men." And of course, he also means women. Yeah. And all of us on this planet. Absolutely. So, unconditional love as the ultimate reward for self mastery. And just another comment. Sending love from North Carolina. All right, now. All right. Send me some warmth up here. It's a little cold up here in the tundra, here in the North Pole. So, yeah, this theme, unconditional love, it was so important. It's not a theme that I've dealt with in this way before. This year, I went full on with it, and it's really made a difference in my life. And I believe it for those of you who've been able to walk this and do this work, that it definitely has made a difference for yours. Absolutely. And last year in January, when I announced the collective commitments, this was a quote I used from Martin, and it's also wonderful. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. Wow. Wow. Yeah, just take that in for a minute. Just take that in for a minute because it's really so powerful and really talking about the energy, the energy of what we have going on. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Excuse me, somebody's trying to contact me. Gotta let them know that I'm live streaming right now. But yeah, powerful, powerful quote by Martin there. Love it. So 2025 was a universal number 9 year. And as it says here, it was a time to release the old and prepare for the new. It's endings and breakthroughs and shedding what no longer serves to make room for a future aligned with our highest potential. The humanitarian nature of nine in numerology brings a heightened awareness of social justice, community, and global healing, calling us to move beyond division and toward unity. Look at that. Look at that energy. Letting go is never easy, but it's often the precursor to profound growth. Trust that every release is paving the way for something better. This is a time to honor the endings, knowing they're clearing space for possibilities beyond what we can currently imagine. Yeah. So, everybody who experienced some loss, especially if it was loss in job, just know that something more is coming for you, something that maybe you didn't even think about. We also are, and still until I think it's the end of January, in the energy of the green wood snake, according to Chinese astrology. And this snake year symbolizes wisdom and transformation. And it's offered opportunities for personal growth and change. Again, back to that shifting. The year of the wood snake in 2025 is said to be a time of growth, creativity, and introspection. It's also a time for self discovery and spiritual and personal development. Yeah. Lots and lots of energy for us for changing up things and going beyond. And then, of course, according to the Dagger of Wisdom, we have been navigating through an earth year. And the earth element is about survival, healing, unconditional love, and caring. There we go. Giving abundance. Earth as a power to notice, to see, and to thrill in being seen. There's the validation. Spiritual material and emotional well being. Building community is difficult, says Malidoma, if not impossible, if people have lost their contact with the ground as their point of strength. For it is only from a place of grounding and centeredness that anyone can give something back to their world, to their community. Shay. And, for us in Western culture, that grounding is really about being in the truth of who you are, not giving your power away, not being attached to what somebody else is doing or not doing, but really staying in your lane and understanding that all that can show up is what you're believing about yourself. So, doing the wisdom walking work, doing that inner work is what enables us to be able to be here and contribute in a healthy and functional way to our family, our work community, our neighborhood, our community, all of that. Yeah. Yeah. Grounding and centeredness. I love it. Love it, love it. So, let's begin with our collective commitments. And we started off with transform. And this was about by choosing to transform your attachment to objects and materials, you open yourself to eternal wealth, unconditional love of self, align with the evolutionary impulse of the universe. So that's the definition of transformation. And so, get out your pens, get out your crayons, or just open your ears and get out your put on your thinking cap, as we were told when we were kids. And here are the contemplative questions for you. One, what did practicing this commitment teach you about yourself? your relationships, and your world. What is one way in which you have transformed yourself in 2025? And how does this make you feel about yourself? In what specific ways has this commitment supported your ability to experience and practice unconditional love for yourself and for others? Yeah, very, very powerful. For me, in regards to this, was really a very, very interesting experience because I got reunited with many of my material possessions that I had been separated from for years. Some it had been decades. Um, and walking this um, energetic commitment, I was really able to not be attached. And there were things that showed up back into my life that I was so grateful for, but there were things that I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with that now." Yeah. It's been good, but yeah, it was good, but I don't need it now. Um, and I also was able to discern what was really important to me, what was essential, and not be about, "Let me just, have everything," and yeah, it's been an interesting journey. And also in that process of really learning to honor and love myself unconditionally because I was so absent of stuff in the beginning of January. I didn't have any furniture in this room that I'm in now. Um, I just had my kitchen table and my bed, and so I would go from the kitchen to the bedroom. I didn't have a television, and those of you who know I'm a movie buff can't imagine I didn't have a screen. 'Cause I have my little fire pad, but I didn't have a screen, and it was okay. I made it through because I wasn't attached. I was just like, "Hey, it'll be what it needs to be. I'm good. What's important here? Yeah, that my health is getting better and that I can stand up without falling down." Yeah. So it really brought me into a place of clarity, really, about, what's important to me. And I think in terms of how it supported me and my experience of unconditional love for myself, like I said, I really didn't judge myself around not having what would be considered previously essential things in order for me to be happy or be okay. And in regards to others, I've just been really so grateful to be in a living environment with a lot of diverse people. And I can really be very unconditionally loving of all of them because they're part of my community. And we have to rely on each other if a fire breaks out or the heat's out or something goes down. Um, and yeah, we have to really we have to really depend on each other. And so I know that one of the ways to do that for people to be able to approach me, and want to talk to me is that I have to have that energy of unconditional love and seeing people beyond how they may appear. And so, yeah, that's been really, really an important shift for me, a grateful shift for me in a lot of ways. Yeah. Yeah. Moving right along, our second collective commitment is unlearn, which I talked about finally last week. And this was about, of course, choosing to unlearn the superficial and complex approach to life. You will learn how to experience all of your relationships with simplicity and depth. True success in life is fulfillment through love and happiness. Yeah. So, again, what did practicing this commitment teach you about yourself, your relationships, and your world? What is the most important thing you have unlearned in 2025 that didn't serve you? And how does this make you feel about yourself? In what specific ways has this commitment supported your ability to experience and practice unconditional love for yourself and others? Yeah, really, really cool stuff. And for me, um, how do I feel about the unlearning that I had done? And most of my unlearning definitely is around my experience of aging, um, eldering, my body shifting in ways I never thought I'd have to deal with. Yeah, so I really had to unlearn, how to be in my body as someone who is pushing 70 versus when I was 30 years old or 40 years old. Yeah. And some things like how I eat, when I eat, how much I eat at a time, you know, because your digestive system gets different, how I rest, how much more rest I allow myself to have. Yeah, I've really been doing a lot of unlearning the belief that I've got to, be on somebody else's schedule in order to be productive or successful. Yeah. And to really take care of my nervous system. And I can tell you, this has made me feel really good. Yeah. The things I've been unlearning have really helped. And of course, it's opened me up to learn some new things. Like, for example, I'm learning because I watch so many K dramas anyway, but I am learning some Korean cooking without the hot sauce. And I'm doing some things that really have made a nice difference for my diet. And really appreciate it, really enjoy it. So I had to unlearn the things that were staples to me that I thought I couldn't live without. Yeah. You know. So those kinds of things that are have been going on for me. And I've got Miss Daphne here. Hey girl. Saying I'm unlearning judgment. Yes. Because as you know, and the old adage says that, you judging somebody is like picking up a hot coal to throw. You're just gonna hurt yourself. And, judgment is that it is an extension of our own judgment of ourselves. Yeah. And there's Coach Danietta saying, greetings all. Hi, Danietta. I hope I said your name correctly. Forgive me if I did. Yeah. So unlearning has been really powerful. It's interesting. I only got to do one episode on it, but obviously that was enough. It all got packed into that time very well. Transcend. Woo-hoo-hoo, the past and moving into the future. Yeah. By transcending to the higher timeline where unconditional love overflows, you will escape victimhood and self sabotage. The lower timeline of the five senses is not the only reality. So, my dears, what did practicing this commitment teach you about yourself, your relationships, and your world? What was a challenging time when you chose to transcend to the higher timeline in 2025? And how does this make you feel about yourself? In what specific ways has the commitment supported your ability to experience and practice unconditional love for yourself and others? Yeah, beautiful. Really, really powerful one. Yeah. And I'm just going to jump back for a minute because Coach Danietta says that I did pronounce her name correctly and that she's unlearning how to say yes to me. Yes. I understand that. I've been there with that one too. Absolutely. So transcending into that higher timeline, boy, this saved my life several times. Um, and one situation I can think about um, was when I, was feeling um, very, very anxious and disrupted um, about my things that I left in California getting here to Wisconsin. And I can remember, you know, just really feeling, so anxious and yeah, I was just out of sorts with it. And I got still. I went in to ask, okay, what is this about? What is this pain about? And I did get some feedback from my spirit guides and loving entities. And I realized that I was, you know, yeah, moving through some of that. You don't deserve, you're not worthy, you can't have, you shouldn't have. And so I remember saying, okay, let me go up into the higher timeline. Let me realize that this isn't just about me. Whatever things are supposed to show up are so that I can be supported in doing the work I'm doing, or it may be something I need to gift to somebody. Let me stop thinking this is just about me. And it's okay for me to have my things returned. And the outcome of that was I did have my things returned. And I tell you, the support I got from my friends, my brothers, I call them in California, Richard and oh God, forgive me, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I can't remember. I'm blocking on my brother's name right now. But anyway, my two brothers took care of business, and then the driver that drove my stuff here to Wisconsin ended up not getting the help that he needed to unload, and so I actually supported the unloading of my stuff to get into this place. It was unbelievable, and at one point, the elevator stopped working. There was only one elevator, it stopped working. It was crazy, but I kept going up into that higher timeline and saying, "No, it's okay for you to have this. You can have it. It's gonna be okay. Everything's in right order. It's going to be okay." And it worked out. But it was a ride, it was an exercise. But thank goodness I've been practicing going up into that higher timeline, yeah. And it made me feel really good. Once it was all done and, I could start slowly opening up boxes, I felt really good, yeah. I got another unlearning, the daughter of Oshun, I'm unlearning control drama. Wow, wow. Good one. That because it is, whew, yeah, yeah, and that's something we do for the rest of our life. Yes, very important. And next, our 4th one was reclaim. Reclaim. I really like this one too. By choosing to reclaim the truth of who you are liberated from codependency and the need for control dramas. We can grow into our self-knowledge and be self-referred. So again, what did practicing this commitment teach you about yourself and your relationships and your world? What is one way in which you have reclaimed your true self in 2025? And how does this make you feel about yourself? In what specific ways has the commitment supported your ability to experience and practice unconditional love for yourself and others? Yeah. Yeah, this good one. This was real good one. My music is probably one of the ways in which I did reclaim a huge part of the truth of who I am. And it wasn't. the end of 2024 that my beautiful dream baby grand piano shows up, who I call Horace. That's his name. And in the year unfolded starting in January, I have been able to play piano every day, um, which is a dream come true. And I've also stepped into really being able to experience myself as a capable musician that, yeah, I really am. And so the universe gifted me with meeting and connecting with two people who are professional musicians. One's a pianist and one's a flutist, and their names are Molly and Jacob. And they actually gifted me a piano stool and a 75-inch television that you see in the background over here. Yeah, amazing, amazing human beings. Um, and so that was a really powerful reclamation for me. And it really, really taught me the importance of really giving oneself permission to be fully expressed in who we are, not keep things to the side, but find a way to bring it front and center because, it's there's nothing like it when you can really grow in your self-knowledge. You will be self-referred and you won't need control dramas in the way that you may have before. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I do know that again, when we feel good about ourselves and we're more expressed in the truth of who we are, yeah, it is much easier to love yourself unconditionally and to share that love with others. Absolutely. Yeah. Mhm. And Miss Daphne says, I need to decide what that is before 2026. Like, what am I reclaiming? Yes. Yes. I have some feedback for you. So, just remind me, hit me up, and I can give you that because in our conversations, I've seen a lot of reclamation going on for you, my dear. Yeah, yeah, you're much further along than you think. And last but not least, ah, validate. Yeah, validation. By choosing to validate your unique self, you automatically grow your capacity for sharing and receiving unconditional love. You can believe that you are valuable enough and worthy of receiving the right support. And so, last but not least, what did practicing this commitment teach you about yourself, your relationships, and your world? What is one way in which you chose to validate yourself in 2025? And how does this make you feel about yourself? And in what specific ways has this commitment supported your ability to experience and practice unconditional love for yourself and others? Wow, wow, wow. So powerful. So powerful. The recent patricide, no, it's not patricide, it's parricide that happened with Rob Reiner and his wife by his young son. Um, One of the first things I thought about this young man is that he had a lack of validation about the truth of who he was. And of course, when somebody is fighting mental illness, especially starting young in life, it's very, very challenging to know the truth of who you are and needing a validation and different ways to be validated in your truth is just so important. It is very, very important. So when you do have enough control over your mind I think one of the ways in which we should be spending our time is this, choosing to validate our unique self. Yeah, so important. For me, being able to play the piano, being able to write, even being able to do these live streams is definitely part of the ways that I do experience validating myself. And I also, because of the lack of validation at a time I received as a child, I received invalidation and from people that, I love, then I make sure to go out of my way to be validating to others because I know what it feels like when you're told that there's something wrong with you. Yeah, it's not a good day. So this to me, this commitment is what's so needed by so many of the wounded people who are in positions of power over other people's lives, you know. And so the way they're going about to validate themselves is to really transfer their pain onto others, and that's not a good way. That's not going to end well, not at all. I have another comment here I want to share. Coach Denietta says, I advocated for myself in an important work related situation, resulting in a settlement. That made me feel powerful and validated. Congratulations, my dear. It takes a lot of courage to do that. Yeah, because of course, what are you risking? Yeah, you're putting your livelihood on the line. You're risking it. But boy, how wonderful. Yeah, yeah. So cool. Really important. And so as I said, I will share a link and other access. I'm going to get something with my website too, so that you can access the free e-workbook. It'll be coming out this week. And thank you for your patience. Yeah, as I am pulling things together. I've just been taking a little easy here at the end of the year, which is a good thing to do. A very good thing to do. Yeah. So, to all you wisdom walkers out there, I want to say congratulations. Woo-hoo-hoo. Ah, we've made it. We've made it walking through these collective commitments and your personal commitments as well. And you know what? You're amazing. You're absolutely amazing to take this on. There are so many people who just shy away from doing the inner work in a functional, healthy, and meaningful way. Because as you know, those of you who took this on, yeah, stuff gonna come up. You're gonna get disrupted, you're gonna get triggered even. Because healing is painful, but the results, oh my goodness, they're so delicious. And so I want you to really, really know that, you know, the work you did on yourself radiates out to everybody in your inner temple, in your inner circle, and then the rings that go beyond that. Yes, everybody benefits. And it may not be something we get to see sometimes immediately, but trust me, it makes a difference. We're all connected. Unity consciousness is real. And especially those of you who are parents, I really, really want to thank you and acknowledge you for doing this work because that was a piece too in a couple of videos I watched about um, Rob Reiner and his wife is that they didn't do therapy. It didn't sound like they were taking on what they needed to heal to support their son's healing. And so, yeah. For those of you doing this work, yeah, this is this is so important. So important. Coach Nada says, first time here. Thanks, Daphne, for inviting me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for, being a part of this village, doing this important, important work. Yeah, it is so necessary, so needed. Yeah. And, I've had such a good time pulling these things together for you, doing these live streams. It's very vital to me, to be able to be of service in this way. I'm so grateful for the digital world, so that I can do this from the comfort of my living room or kitchen. Yeah, yeah, it's really cool. I'm so grateful. Thank you, God and the ancestors. So I did want to tell those of you who listened in last week or who may be listening to the repeat that I did do a little short, a little 5 minute short about the collective commitments at the movies so that you could reference that if you need it or share it with somebody rather than have for them to have to go through the whole 1 hour long video that I did last week. Wow, I didn't mean to be on that long, but that happens. And the movies were Last Christmas, which I'm getting ready to watch tonight, Ordinary People for Unlearn, The Man Who Invented Christmas for Transcend. I love that movie too. Last Holiday, always great. Reclaim, and then Klaus, the animated award-winning film for Validate. Yeah, absolutely. So my Miss Sarah quote for you again. Miss Sarah, that wonderful nonagenarian I got to live the last 3 years of her life with, and who taught me so much about how to really embrace aging and to never, never, never give up, to always be taking care of yourself and doing as much as you can do for as long as you can. She was driving her Prius a month before she died. Yeah, Miss Sarah's something else. And she says, life always supports us in where we want to be. Life always supports us in whatever changes we want to make. Yeah, just a love. Thank you, Mama Sarah. Yeah. This is NJ Pizzle. NJ Pizzle or Pizzy? I can't read that. It might be Pizzle. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Thank you for this, the first time here, and I'm so grateful to Daphne for the invite. Go on, Daphne. Daphne, my promoter. I love it. She says just NJ Pizzle. It is NJ Pizzle. You got my sister. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And as always, when I close out, I want to shout out to all my regular watchers and listeners, all of you who have wisdom walk with me and you know who you are, to my family here in the frozen Midwest, and to those on both coasts, to my spiritual kin, my medicine brothers and sisters around the world, and those who are listening in or watching for the first time. I want to say thank you. Big thank you. I couldn't do this without you and your willingness to listen, to watch, to take on your self mastery work. I'm so grateful to be of service to you in this way. And I thank you. I thank you for being who and what you are at this time on the earth plane as we are all evolving and being evolved into a new level of consciousness about who we are as human beings. Absolutely. I also wanted to say that I did reach out for those of you that remember when I was doing Blog Talk Radio through Black Hole Radio, and that got stopped because Blog Talk went out of business. But I did reach out to the owners of Black Hole Radio tonight, and good news is that the owner is doing better with his health, but he did want to have a conversation with me. So hopefully we'll be able to do that tomorrow, and I'll have some news for you in the beginning of the year if that is going to come back. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm open. I'm surrendered. It's all good. It's all what it needs to be, right? Exactly. So here's what I have upcoming for right now, for as much as I know. Um, about how the universe may work, but this is my plan. My plan, it could change for live streaming in January. I will do the astrology for self mastery starting that Wednesday when we have a full moon in the sign of Cancer. And it's going to be one of two Cancer full moons in the year. The second one will happen in December. So we open and close 2026 with a Cancer full moon. 2026 in the Dagara is a water year. The universal number will be a one, and it is the fire horse year in the astrology, Chinese astrology. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting. So, I didn't want to not have you have information about that Cancer full moon to open up the new year. And then I'll do the second half of January on Sunday the 11th, maybe. It's there's a lot of aspects in January from my when I glanced at it, so it's a lot. Here we go. And then the elemental wisdom will be on Sunday, back on Sunday, January the 4th. Our elemental week day of the week is going to be Thursday this year. And then I will introduce the 2026 annual commitments on Sunday, the and why is this over here? There we go. Sunday, January 18th. It was blocking my view. Stop blocking my view. Look, live stream. And then a few promos here. Of course, Queen Adara, her Heart for Healing service every first and third Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Go to our website, spiritismylife.com under events, and you will get a Zoom access to it. It is a free offering that she makes, and she is one of the most powerful uh, channelers that I know. She's an incredible high priestess, shaman woman. She a medicine woman I go to when I need some help because I can trust her. She's very, very honest, open, and humble and amazing, amazing. So yeah, she does a great meditation. It's very powerful. I always get taken out by her meditation. So I encourage you to check out Queen Reverend Adara. And then my friend Juanita Robertson and Amy Houghton, their book, The Inner Ground Railroad, a 40-day journey into remembering soul and spirit. Juanita uses the Dagro medicine wheel in this book in a very powerful way, and it is available online. And then, of course, my book, Wisdom Walk to Self Mastery, Ancient Wisdom for Transforming Pain, introduces you to the Dagro medicine wheel and the elemental rituals that you can do solo to really support you in your self mastery, growth, and healing. Ashe. And then, last but not least, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides, loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you wisdom walkers, want to be wisdom walkers, gonna be wisdom walkers out there. Now, please have a healthy and safe holiday week coming up into the new year. It's also the end of a fire week, so continue embracing and practicing forgiveness. Also, on Wednesday, which is Christmas Eve, we'll have a mineral week beginning, and it's for you to remember your true purpose. What a beautiful, beautiful energy for Christmas Eve. Now, continue to strengthen your immune system and protect your nervous system by praying for others versus taking on their pain. And most importantly, my darlings, and you know that you are not disposable. Why is that? It's because you are truly divine. I love you, grateful for you. Thank you so much for everything that happened this year. I can't wait till the water year of 2026 opens for us in a couple of days. And we will be moving through, moving up higher in our consciousness and in our understanding of the truth of who we are and how the universe really works. Be well, be safe, and I'll see you again in the new year. Bye bye now. Happy holidays, everyone.